Hi, my name is Kelly. I teach technology in an elementary school, and one of the very most favorite things my students love doing is making things in Google Slides. In today's video, we'll be checking out how to use your own name and word art to create a Halloween skeleton. So open up a blank Google slide and let's check it out.
Let's get started. I've already opened up a blank Google slide. I've deleted the text boxes off the middle and I've closed out the themes on the right. To begin with making our skeleton, I'm going to change the background to a contrasting color. So I'm going to select background and then I'll choose black. And to start the skeleton, we'll make the head. You'll bring your cursor over here to the shape icon, which is the circle on top of the square, and select a circle as your first shape. Place one onto your slide, and you're going to kind of make it into an oval because skeleton tops of their heads look oval. I am going to hold down Control and tap on the letter D to duplicate that. I'm going to bring it down and get it more into the shape of a circle. I think that looks good. I'm now going to draw a box around both pieces. Click on my paint bucket to make it white. Right now it's light gray. And then I'm going to click the border color tool and make it transparent. So that looks like a pretty good base for the skeleton. Next I'm going to do the eyes by just inserting a couple of circles. Well, we'll start with one, get it down to the size that I want it to be, and take the form that I want it to have by using the resizing tool. Then I will place it on top of the skeleton's head, change it to black, and I like to remove those borders. And if I like the way that eye looks, I'm going to make a copy of it by holding down my Control key and tapping the letter D to duplicate it. Next, for the nose, and you can use those red lines as a guide when you're lining them up. For the nose, I'm just going to do another circle and make it look maybe like that. Place it onto my skeleton. I don't really like that way. I'm going to make it smaller. Maybe I'll do two of them and have nostrils. There we go. And once I'm happy with the way it looks, I'm going to duplicate it again by holding down Control and the letter D. For the mouth, I'm going to just select a shape that's kind of looking like a mouth, and I'll add one onto the page. I'll hold down that blue dot and turn it till I get it to be straight horizontally going across, and then I'm going to place it onto the skeleton. And you can either fill it with black or you can use the line tool to make teeth. I'm going to, for time purposes, I'm just going to fill mine with black today. Now that the head is formed, for the neck bone, I'm just going to use a small rectangle, which I'll insert the square or the rectangle. I'll resize it by pushing it in and skinning it out a little bit. And of course, I'm going to match the color by clicking the paint bucket, selecting white, and making the border transparent. Then I'm going to place it onto the bottom of the skeleton's head. And now I'm going to draw a box around the entire head, click Arrange, and then Group so that you have one piece. For the body of the skeleton, we're going to use your name. So in order to do that, we'll be using word art today. You're going to bring your cursor over here to where it says Insert, click on it, and then go down the drop down to Word Art. When this box opens up, you're just going to type in your first name. I'm just going to type name and then hit Enter. Now we have your name will be on the screen, and I'm going to click to change it from gray to white. And now I'm going to use a script font. So bring your cursor over here to the default where it says Arial and find a nice script writing font that you change it to. I'm going to use Lobster. I like the way that looks. I'm just going to bring it over here to the side, and I'm going to push down on that arrow, on the dot at the top, to rotate it so that the first letter of your name is here at the bottom. And this way, if you turned your head sideways, you would actually see your name. You could read it. If you just tilt your head to the left, you can see the way that your name looks. Now I'm going to make it a little bit smaller and thin it out a bit by using my resizing guides around the blue frame. Next, with this blue frame around it, you're going to duplicate it. So do Control with the letter D. And while you have the blue frame around the new one, you're going to rotate it. You're going to give it a mirrored image look. So I'm going to click Arrange, Rotate, and Flip horizontally. Now that you have your two names, you can use the arrows as a guide, and you can just line them up so that they are together. And now you can see the body of the skeleton is going to be your name. I'm just going to adjust that a little bit, and I'll draw a box around it and group it together. I'll do Arrange and Group. Next, you can bring it over to your skeleton and make any adjustments at that time that you like. Again, play around with the different fonts. Each font is going to give a different look. So after you have the body in place, you can click on one of your names, do Control and the letter D to duplicate it so that you have another one, and then you can use your name to actually make the other parts of the skeleton's body. So you can use it several times and just place it where the arms would be. You can place it where the legs would be, and so forth. I'm just going to duplicate mine a few more times just because this way you'll get the idea of what I mean and get that look. And again, as you're rotating it, you're going to be holding down that blue dot at the top of the frame. And another thing, a lot of things that my students like to do is they like to create clothing. So they use the shape tools to do that. Another thing that they like to do is add shapes to create the feet or the hands. But my favorite part about this activity is you can make your skeleton look however you want by just simply adding your name a couple of more times, or creating body parts such as hands and feet by using other shapes. You can adjust the size if you're not happy with the way things are looking. This is a great activity to practice your digital skills. When your skeleton is finished, you can draw a box around it and group it together by clicking Arrange and Group. So now your skeleton is one whole piece, and you can duplicate it, you can copy and paste it, you can adjust the size and use it in scenes or other drawings that you might be making for Halloween.
That was awesome. I'm sure your skeletons came out great, and now you can take those and use them in any type of scene or drawing that you might like to put together for Halloween. See you next time.